It's a good week. The F1 season has begun. It appears it's going to be a Verstappen kind of year once again. And then F1 arrives on the Switch. And now, sure, look, it's not Codemasters F1, a game I have long requested for the system. But I do think New Star GP may just surprise you, because it's definitely surprised me. Now, if you do enjoy the video today, subscribe, helps out the channel a huge amount. And let's get straight into this today. I'm a few races deep into the experience, and the truth is, this is a whole lot deeper than I anticipated. You know, you look at the visuals and you do think arcade racer through and through, and that's definitely not the case. So sure, when it comes to the handling, it's quick, it's responsive, but you're going to need to use brakes. This isn't a game where you can just hold down acceleration and push left and right. You will need to be very aware of your surroundings, both the competitors as well as those upcoming different turns. There is a racing line, in fact, that will guide you in regards to speed and management. The game even features an option very similar to many of the Codemaster games before it, which is you can actually pause, rewind, and continue from a previous position should you make a mistake, but this, it is limited to 4 attempts per race. When it comes to the opponents as well, they are impressively aggressive. The AI has really kind of stunned me at moments, and even these collisions can actually lead to rivalries where they will be chasing you down. Now, perhaps most surprisingly though, on top of all of this, there's a pretty decent amount of team management alongside this. So when I say team management, I mean you'll be choosing different squad members to assist you in different races, but most of all, when you do win specific races and meet specific conditions, you'll actually choose an award. So think you may be able to get better sponsors, which requires a certain team member. These different team members as well, they actually have emotions, so you can see if they're happy, upset, whatever it may be. Now, if they are on the lower end, this can actually lower those rewards. They may even quit your squad, and that really is just the beginning. Alongside this as well, there's a whole host of car upgrades. So think engine, gearbox, brakes, and of course more from there. All of this is done with cash that is awarded thanks to the different events that you do complete. Then what surprised me the most was the actual idea of pit stop management and tyre strategy. So opening a race, you'll consult with one of your team members, and you're going to choose a number of pit stops per race, as well as 1 of 3 tyre types. So that's going to be wet, soft and hard. And as you do race though, think fuel running out. Damage on the car can actually occur from collisions, and tyres will need switching. So what you're going to do is you're going to jump into the pit lane, and you will switch tyres out and refuel with kind of what I guess is almost like this arcade mini game, but it works really well. You got to be quick in these moments, as is very representative of the sport, as well as to obviously keep your place on the grid. In these situations, wrong tyres can lead to disaster, and too much fuel will absolutely slow you down. It's very much thinking about these different elements that are reflective of the real life sport. It's really actually quite amazing how it plays with these lighter sim elements, and I am absolutely loving it this far. The core gameplay types then are career and championship. Now, championship, they're pre-built groups of races. You'll compete for cups. The more you do win, the more you will unlock. This supports up to 2 players locally. I will say here, there is no online play at all. Then career, it's actually going through the eras, so 1970s to 2020s, with some nods to legends of the sport and locations. Now, each location comes with a number of events as well. In career, so far, I've seen a practice race to obviously learn the track. Checkpoint, which puts you on a countdown between markers. Elimination, meaning a racer is taken out every 30 seconds till 1 is left standing. And then of course the Grand Prix. This is 6 laps to crown a victor. This, for me, is a great selection of track types, and my only question will be is, as I progress further into the game, will it have any sort of qualification? Because right now, I find myself every single race starting at the back of the grid. Yes, that's very representative of the arcade gameplay element of this, but I would like to see it kind of reflect the real sport in that way as well. I do think though, overall for gameplay, my initial impression is it's impressive just how much they've packed in here, you know, modes-wise, career and championship, 2 fully fleshed out options, though I do think, admittedly, it's a little unusual to see the omission of a simple quick race. Then, however, it's really only positives, different eras to look forward to in that career mode, with the promise of different tracks, team management that feels like you are truly making a difference to both your car and those that surround you. Car upgrades to spend the in-game cash, where I'm really enjoying looking at kind of what the different options are and how they promise to impact my, I guess, day-to-day career. Also as well, let's face it, who knows what else is to come, because I've only really just started to get into the experience, and already a few different things are kind of coming up. Think like I've just started fielding questions from the media which appear to impact my team morale directly. On top of all of this, then, we do have fun, responsive controls which work well for the system, but it's not simply a case of accelerate and steer. You definitely need to brake. You need to be aware of your competitors. You need to watch out for rivalries, and you need to manage car condition, fuel, and tire wear. That is impressive, not what I expected, but I'm incredibly happy to see it here. When it comes to the visuals, then, first of all, it's all been running buttery smooth, and I do think generally the game looks great with that retro style, but those visuals are also the reason I put this video together today, because I think many will see the style and maybe see a trailer and not realize just how much depth it packs. You know, this isn't a simple arcade racer, it is something more at its core. Now, of course, I do intend to have a fuller review live closer to launch, which is just a few days away at this point, but I had to take a moment to acknowledge this one, because for me, it's come out of nowhere, and it may just be a racer genre fans should be checking out. Now, before I do then give my initial impressions of the visuals as well, I will say, really curious to see how the eras through the career mode impact the gameplay and the stylings. You know, from the simple character portraits, I'm hoping for some wild era reflecting hairstyles, I guess, but also how will the tracks reflect the locations and the sport itself. I should also note then it does open with a basic character creator as well, which I won't say is the most robust I've ever seen, but customization options are never a bad thing, and it does include them here. The visuals, though, the cars look really crisp, that nice kind of future racing look to them all. You can see sponsors adorning the competition. When you see the AI kind of flinging itself all over the track, it really is impressive. And so far, I've liked the locations as well. Each feels very representative of the location around the world it is working towards. When it comes to the audio, then, the engines sound good. There's definitely that kind of retro influence still in here as well. And I do think when it comes from a music perspective, it keeps things nice and upbeat, but it is very simple, and nothing I'd say you're going to write home about, but it definitely does the job. Another thing I do want to quickly touch on as well regarding going back to visuals here, but you're going to see notes from your team captain. You know, someone's, let's say, brakes failed or someone's out of the race. They're going to be constantly updating you, and it definitely keeps the excitement at the very kind of peak momentum throughout the experience. So is this the sort of racer you do look for then? Do you like the combination of arcade gameplay with almost light sim elements? Let me know in the comments. With that then, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.